PC way of saying this.
Don't be PC. Don't be PC. Just say it.
So it's basically a go to hell fund. So basically, you figure out how much money you need for 6 months, and if you ever get in a position where you're like, I just totally hate this job, you don't have to stress about making bills, paying your bills on and off because you have your fund there. So you can kind of look for the next best thing as opposed to kind of like stressing and being upset and angry. That's something that I wish I had probably learned earlier in my career. Like I said, one of those jobs was definitely like stressful and boring, so I wish I had started making the jump to the next point a little bit earlier in life. But I didn't do that. I was kind of spending more money than I should have, so I didn't grow my fund. So one thing that I've always been told and I believe is enjoy your 20s but plan for your 30s. So if you're in your 20s and you're kind of like just doing whatever, going on vacation every single month, going to a Cancun or whatever, you still need to be able to be paying yourself so that when it comes down the road, you can actually enjoy your retirement. But if you start planning for your retirement, your savings in your 20s versus your 30s, like your chance of getting $1 million in the bank is like exponentially increased. So if you start putting away that 4.5% when you're 23 versus when you're 30, like it's going to be the difference of probably like $500,000 by the time you're 40. But the hardest thing that I think Americans have is that we get money in our account and then we go spend it. But the way that I found around that is if you do direct deposit into something you can't touch, then
how would you do that?
you just you set it up with HR basically. So you basically say, put this into my E-Trade account, and then you basically train yourself, like this is untouchable, I'm not going to take this out. That's purpose is for my retirement, I'm not going to go buy a new car or something with it. But that's an important thing I think that a lot of young people should probably know, as opposed to just living for the day.
Yeah, that's honestly what I'm trying to do, like, because I realize kind of everything I'm doing right now isn't going to be successful like right now. But I want to be consistent to the point where like 10 years from now, I'm still growing and bigger than I am right now, and that's really like my outlook on it. Like, because I know when I post this, it might get 5, 10 views, but a month from now I might get 50, and then a month from now I might get 150. Then it's just going, and like that's the process. Like I know I'm on.
It's the slow and steady process. I had a student here who started to do websites, and he was asking for pointers, and he was basically undercutting all the competition. He was going to make a website for like $500, and then just like walk away from the customer. And I basically told him, like, if you figure out a way to charge these people X amount a month for website maintenance, and you charge maybe $200 per month, and over the course of the next 5 years, you end up getting 20, 30 websites that you maintain, all that money adds up pretty nice every single month, so you get that residual income. So that long-term plan is definitely key. But if you're just kind of going for the quick home run, then it's a quick departure too from trying to be successful.
Yeah, a lot of like podcasts that I watch say like if you chase money, like you might get the money, but you're never gonna actually have a sustainable, like lasting impact or effect.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people, especially your generation, like the real estate game, kind of buy a 3-decker, then by the time you guys are 40, you're starting to get all that money, as opposed to just buying a house and just having a house. But yeah, the long-term plan, I definitely think if you're able to have the mindset, it's going to be huge for you.
Definitely. I want to get into it. I told you that. I want to get into real estate. My friend's doing wholesaling right now. Actually, I was talking to him last night about it because he would like have a couple contracts he wants to sign, stuff like that.
It's definitely whatever. I mean, you're at a stage where you can take a risk, and if they don't work out.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to a couple of my teammates about. Because like now obviously we just have so much free time, and I just told them like start a business. Like we're in our 20s, like we have so much time to fail. Like if we started when you're 30, like you can't fail. Like you have a family to support by then. And now it's like if like this doesn't work out, it's like okay, like what's next?
Yeah.
Or like even if it doesn't work out now, like I had time for it to work out.
Yeah, you can make tweaks and adjustments as opposed to you drop 30 grand to something when you're 30, and it doesn't work out. It could be a really rough 5 years. But the little things definitely make a big difference.
Definitely.
But it's all about a good plan. As long as you kind of think as thoroughly as you can going forward, it works out pretty well. I think a lot of entrepreneurs end up failing because they end up being good at whatever that unique idea is, and they really don't have the business savvy to think long term, what am I going to do?
Yeah. I don't want to fail. I can't fail. I refuse to fail. I refuse to not be successful.
That's all I need. You just got to make the right plan, and kind of, there's plenty of money out there.
Definitely.
So,
It's another question I always ask you this question. Talk to me about marijuana, man. Where do you think it's going?
yeah, so weed is interesting in its own right. I've always been a fan of beer, but I have, over the past, I don't know, 9 months now, I have started investing in it. Because I do think that it's going to become more mainstream like tobacco is. You could already see like the big cigarette companies getting involved in it.
Really?
They're already starting to like kind of make the headwinds, and medicinal marijuana is where it's at right now, and I think down the road it's going to turn into more of a casual thing, and as long as the government taxes it appropriately, I think there's no reason why it's not going to become mainstream.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, I think the biggest hurdle that America has is they don't know how to test it if you're like driving under the influence. So I think once that happens, it'll probably expedite the whole process. The country seems to be becoming more liberal too, so you'd suspect that that'd make it even easier. So it's I don't know. As long as it's held to the same standards as alcohol, I think it's going to work out well. But I think at this particular point, you can probably make some good money if you invest in appropriate stock markets for these guys.
Yeah.
But it'll be an interesting ride.
Yeah. Just to like finish off, just what's like probably the number one piece of advice you would have given to yourself if you could like meet your younger self right now?
The number one advice. So I think the most important thing that you can probably do is probably find a good wife. I think if you find someone that kind of compensates for whatever your strengths and weaknesses are, I think that's probably the key to making everything work. If you find someone that wants to, if you're a type A personality and they're a type A personality, you're gonna like butt heads. But if like you're A and B, or if you like to spend money and they like to save money, or vice versa, I feel like if you don't get like a balanced relationship, that's probably the biggest thing that I could think of. I think when I was younger, I had more people that were very similar to me, and now I have someone that's like a nice balance to me.
In terms of relationships?
Yeah.
That's good.
So I think that's probably something that probably most people seek for. You probably seek for comfort, some similarities back when you're in your 20s. And then as you get older, you find someone that like completes the overall package as opposed to just being as crazy as you are.
Yeah. It's funny, like, I would never thought that's the advice you give yourself. Find the right girl.
Yeah, I think that makes everything or breaks everything.
Yeah.
Like if you you get hooked up with the wrong girl, your life could go haywire.
Mm-hmm.
You get hooked up with the right girl, it could go pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I would have never thought that either, but definitely seems to be the cornerstone.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Daniels.
Pleasure.
Thank you
My
very
pleasure.
much, man. So, I can't wait to do some more of these. I would really like to do
Yeah.
some more of these eventually.
Let me know how it goes.